Google has rewritten its work from anywhere policy and employees aren't happy because from now on, one day away from your office desk could wipe out an entire week from your annual allowance. So, why is Google doing this? What exactly does this new rule mean for its 180,000 employees worldwide? And most importantly, is this the start of a bigger trend in big tech? Let's break it down. Hello viewers, I'm Kavya Khandelwal and you're watching The Edge. Alright, let's rewind to the pandemic days when offices shut down and the world went remote. Google, like many companies, introduced a flexible policy called Work From Anywhere or WFA. It basically said, hey Googlers, you can work from any location you like up to 4 weeks a year. That meant if you want to spend a few weeks with family in another city or work from your hometown instead of the Bay Area, you could, no problem. It was one of those cool perks that made working in Google feel futuristic and humane. But fast forward to 2025 and the mood has changed. According to a CNBC report citing internal documents, Google has now told employees whether you log 1 WFA day or 5 WFA days in a standard week, 1 full WFA week will be deducted from your balance. So yes, if you just take Monday off to work from Goa or Gurugram, Google will act like you took the whole week, and this has caused a mini rebellion inside the company. Employees are confused, frustrated and even questioning the logic behind it because earlier, this flexibility was meant to support a post-pandemic lifestyle where hybrid work was the norm. Now, it feels like the company is slowly tightening the leash. During an internal meeting, one Googler actually asked, why does even one day count as a full week? And the response from management, basically because WFA was never meant for day-to-day hybrid work. John Casey, Google's Vice President of Performance and Rewards, explained that this policy was originally designed to meet employees where they were during the pandemic. And now, it's meant to be taken in weekly chunks, not for casual one-day escapes. He added that employees should use WFA only when they are truly working beyond their normal commuting range, like another city or country, not just for working from home on a Friday. So, Google is essentially saying if you are going to go remote, make it count, but don't abuse it. But here's the real story. Employees who don't follow the rule could face disciplinary actions or even termination in some cases. Now, why this sudden shift? On paper, Google says it's about compliance, legal and financial implications of people working from different cities or countries. Every country has its own tax and labor laws, and remote work from abroad can get tricky very fast. If you have got a Googler working from Bali, for instance, that could trigger local employment or tax issues. But behind these scenes, this also looks like part of a larger industry pushback against remote work culture. Think about it. Google isn't alone. Amazon has ordered corporate employees back to the office 5 days a week. Microsoft wants staff in at least 3 days a week. Even startups that once championed remote forever are now quietly walking that back. It's like the post-pandemic honeymoon with remote work is officially over. And in Google's case, this change fits right into the pattern. A subtle way to nudge people back into the office without outright saying it. Because think about it, if one day off costs you a whole week, most employees will just avoid using WFA altogether. That's a psychological move, a compliance by discouragement tactic. Here's where things get really interesting, the mixed reactions inside Google. Some employees are angry. They say the rule feels unfair and confusing. Others point out the irony. Google sells collaboration tools that enable remote work globally, yet it's limiting the same flexibility for its own people. And remember, this is the same company that designed Google Meet, the very tool millions of remote workers depended on. But then again, not every rule is treated equally. Those who work in data centers or physical operations are exempt because their work physically requires presence. For everyone else, though the message is clear, remote work is a privilege, not a right. And this change might just be Google testing the waters. If employee pushback is weak, expect even tighter policies soon. So to sum it all up, Google's once lenient work from anywhere perk has now turned into a strictly limited week-based system. Even a single day off-site equals a full week deducted. The company says it's about compliance and fairness, but to many employees it feels like a quiet rollback of flexibility. And looking at the larger picture, big tech seems to be entering a new phase of control over where and how people work. The freedom of work from anywhere may soon become a nostalgic story from the pandemic years. What do you think? Is Google being practical here or just power tripping? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe and follow The Edge.